Hello, dear friends. What you're about to hear happened 3 weeks ago in Portland, Oregon. A woman named Susan Miller, 52 years old, walked into her kitchen at 6:30 a.m. to make coffee. She filled the kettle, turned around to get a mug from the cupboard, and when she looked back, the kettle was gone, vanished. She searched everywhere. 10 minutes later, she found it in her bedroom closet, still warm, still full of water. Susan lives alone. There was no one else in the house. Today, we're going to explore something unsettling. Real cases from 2025 and early 2026 where ordinary people witnessed reality malfunction. Objects disappearing and reappearing, people vanishing on security cameras, moments when the world seemed to skip like a scratched DVD. These aren't ghost stories or science fiction. These are documented incidents with video evidence, multiple witnesses, and no logical explanation. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share your own experience in the comments if something similar has ever happened to you, because after today, you might start noticing these glitches too. Let's begin. March 14th, 2025, Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Security camera footage, Terminal 3, Gate B12. Timestamp 7:42 a.m. A man in his mid-50s, wearing a gray business suit and carrying a black roller bag, walks toward the gate. The footage is clear, 60 frames per second, high resolution. He's visible for 8 seconds. He passes a coffee kiosk, walks past 3 other passengers, approaches the gate counter. Then, between frame 487 and frame 488, 1/60th of a second, he's gone. Not running, not turning, not collapsing. Gone. The roller bag stays. It rolls forward 2 more feet, then stops. Empty space where a human being stood 1 frame earlier. Airport security reviewed the footage 47 times. They checked every camera angle. 12 different cameras captured various views of that corridor. On all 12, the man vanishes at precisely 7:42:16 a.m. His luggage was searched. Inside, business documents, a laptop, reading glasses, and a family photo. The TSA traced the bag's owner, Robert Chen, 54, management consultant from San Francisco. They called his cell phone. Robert answered. He was at home in San Francisco, confused, said he'd never been to Chicago that morning, had no memory of going to the airport. But there he was on camera. His face, his ID, his luggage, and then nothing. Airport personnel who witnessed the tape described the same feeling, a cold sensation down the spine. Not fear exactly, something deeper. The feeling you get when the world doesn't behave the way it's supposed to, when the rules you've lived by your entire life suddenly don't apply. One TSA officer, Patricia Huang, 48 years old, said in a later interview, "I've worked here 16 years. I've seen medical emergencies, I've seen people arrested, I've seen weird things, but this felt wrong, like watching a magic trick, but you know there's no trick. Something just broke." The footage was never released publicly, but it leaked. Within a week, 3 million people had seen it. Most called it fake, CGI, a hoax, but frame-by-frame analysis by independent video experts found no evidence of manipulation. The metadata was intact, the file was original, unedited. Robert Chen never went to Chicago that day, but someone, something, wearing his face did, and then stopped existing. June 8, 2025, a small town outside Denver, Colorado. Linda Torres, 61, retired schoolteacher, lives alone in a 2-bedroom house she's owned for 30 years. Every morning, same routine. Wake at 6 a.m., shower, make coffee, sit at the kitchen table, read the news on her tablet. On June 8th, something changed.
Linda poured her coffee into her favorite blue ceramic mug, the one her daughter gave her 5 Christmases ago. She placed it on the kitchen table, right side, 6 inches from the edge. She turned to get cream from the refrigerator. When she turned back, the mug was on the left side of the table, 12 inches from where she'd put it. She froze, stared at it. Her hands were still holding the cream. She hadn't touched the mug. The kitchen was silent. No vibration, no earthquake, no movement. She set down the cream, walked over, picked up the mug. It was still warm, still full. She placed it back on the right side, precisely where it had been. She took 1 step back, watched it. Nothing happened. She turned to get a spoon from the drawer. 3 seconds, maybe 4. When she turned back, the mug was gone. Completely gone. Not on the table, not on the floor. She searched the kitchen. Not in the sink, not in the cupboard. Vanished. Linda stood in the middle of her kitchen, heart pounding, breath shallow. The smell of coffee still in the air, but no mug. She felt lightheaded, sat down on the floor, back against the cupboard, tried to think, tried to understand. 10 minutes passed. Then she heard it. A soft clink. Ceramic on wood. She looked up. The mug was back on the table, right side, exactly where she'd first placed it. Still full, still warm. Linda didn't drink the coffee that morning. She called her daughter, voice shaking, and told her what happened. Her daughter suggested stress, tiredness. Maybe she'd imagined it. Linda didn't argue, but she knew. She knew what she'd seen, what hadn't been there, and then was. Over the next 3 weeks, it happened 6 more times. Different objects. A book on the nightstand, her reading glasses, a framed photo. Always when she turned away, always returning minutes later. She started leaving her phone recording video whenever she left a room. On June 29th, she captured it. The book on her nightstand, a paperback mystery novel, visible in frame for 4 minutes. Then, at timestamp 11:23:14 a.m., it flickers. The image distorts for a fraction of a second, and the book is gone. The recording continues for 6 more minutes. Empty nightstand. Then another flicker. The book reappears. Linda sent the footage to a local news station. They didn't air it. Said it looked like a technical glitch with the camera. But Linda knew her phone had been working fine. She'd recorded dozens of videos before and after. No glitches. Only that one. Only when the object vanished. She still lives in that house. Still experiences the glitches. She's learned to live with them. Learned not to panic. But every time it happens, she feels it. That wrongness. That sense that the world she knows, solid, predictable, logical, isn't as stable as she believed. September 3rd, 2025. Nevada, just outside Las Vegas. Highway 85, a straight stretch of desert road used mostly by long-haul truckers and tourists heading to California. James Porter, 58, truck driver, 26 years on the road. He's driven Highway 85 hundreds of times, knows every mile marker, every rest stop. That night, he was hauling electronics from a warehouse in Henderson to a distribution center in Los Angeles. Left at 10 p.m. Clear sky, no traffic. Cruise control set at 68 miles per hour. At 11:14 p.m., he passed mile marker 72. Recognized it. There's a distinctive Joshua tree on the right side, bent at an odd angle. He noticed it, filed it away mentally, kept driving. 3 minutes later, he passed mile marker 72 again. Same Joshua tree, same angle. He frowned, checked his speedometer. Still 68 miles per hour. Checked his GPS. It showed him heading west on Highway 85, approaching mile marker 73, but outside his window, mile marker 72. Again. He kept driving. Watched the odometer. 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. At 11:21 p.m., mile marker 72 appeared again. Same tree. James pulled over, stopped the truck, got out. The night was cold, desert air sharp in his lungs. He walked to the mile marker, touched it. Solid, real. He looked around. No other cars. No lights except his own headlights cutting through the darkness. He got back in the truck, started driving. Faster this time, 75 miles per hour. Watched the odometer carefully. 5 miles, 6 miles, 7. He should have been at mile marker 79 by now, but at 11:34 p.m., he passed mile marker 72. 4th time.
He tried calling 911. No signal. Tried his wife. No signal. The GPS still showed him moving forward, but the mile markers looped. This continued for 47 minutes. By his count, he passed mile marker 72 11 times. Then, at 12:01 a.m., it stopped. He passed mile marker 73, then 74, then 75. Normal, forward, linear. He drove straight through to Los Angeles, didn't stop. When he arrived, he checked his GPS log. According to the data, he traveled the route normally, no loops, no delays. The distance matched the time. But James Porter's dash cam told a different story. 11 passes of mile marker 72, same tree, same angle, over and over. He reported it to his company. They dismissed it as equipment malfunction. But James Porter doesn't drive Highway 85 at night anymore. Says he doesn't trust it. Says the road remembers him. Other drivers have reported similar experiences on that stretch. Loops, repeated landmarks, time that doesn't move forward. The Highway Patrol has no explanation, calls it fatigue, hallucination. But the dash cams don't lie. and they all show the same thing. Mile marker 72. Again, and again, and again. November 19th, 2025, Seattle, Washington, Pike Place Market. 2:30 p.m. on a Saturday, crowded with tourists and locals. Rachel Leon, 47, graphic designer, shopping for vegetables. She's holding a bag of carrots, comparing prices, when she sees her. Across the aisle, a woman in the same jacket, same haircut, same face. Herself. The other Rachel is holding a bag of tomatoes. She's looking at her phone, not noticing. Rachel, our Rachel, freezes, stares. Her heart hammers. She takes a step forward. The other Rachel looks up. Their eyes meet. For 3 seconds, they stare at each other. Rachel sees herself, sees her own confusion mirrored in the other woman's face. Neither speaks, neither moves. Then the other Rachel drops the tomatoes. They hit the ground, roll. She turns and walks quickly toward the exit. Rachel follows, pushing through the crowd. She loses sight of her near the fish stalls. Searches for 5 minutes. Nothing. Gone. Rachel walks back to where the tomatoes fell. They're still there. She picks one up. It's real, solid. She asks a vendor, "Did you see a woman in a blue jacket? Looks like me?" The vendor nods. "Yeah, she dropped those. Looked freaked out. Went that way." Points toward the exit. Rachel checks the market security footage the next day, files a request, explains she saw someone who might be stalking her. They let her review the tape. There, at 2:32 p.m., 2 women in identical blue jackets, same height, same build, same face, standing 6 feet apart, staring at each other. Then one, the other Rachel, turns and leaves frame. Rachel pauses the video, zooms in, studies the face. It's hers. Every detail. The small scar above her left eyebrow from a childhood fall. The way she stands, weight on her right leg. The expression, confusion mixed with fear. She's never seen that woman before. Has no twin, no doppelganger in the family. But there she is, on camera, real. Rachel hired a private investigator, searched for months. No one matching her description, living in Seattle, with her face. No records, no trace. The other Rachel vanished as completely as she'd appeared. Rachel still shops at Pike Place, but she looks over her shoulder now, scans faces, wonders if she'll see herself again. And if she does, what will she say? By December 2025, these stories were everywhere. Reddit threads, Facebook groups, YouTube channels. Thousands of people sharing experiences. Objects moving, people vanishing, time loops, doppelgangers. Most were dismissed as hoaxes, mistakes, lies. But a few, a small percentage, had evidence, video, multiple witnesses, no clear explanation. Dr. Elena Vasquez, 52, physicist at MIT, started collecting these cases, not because she believed in the supernatural, because she wanted to debunk them, prove they were camera glitches, editing tricks, mass hysteria.
She analyzed 217 videos over 6 months. 89% were explainable, compression artifacts, lens flares, deliberate fakes. But 11%, 24 videos, defied explanation. Frame-by-frame analysis showed no tampering, metadata intact, independent verification, real footage of impossible events. Dr. Vasquez published her findings in March 2026. The paper was titled Anomalous Visual Discontinuities in Consumer Video Recordings, a Preliminary Analysis. It didn't use words like glitch or matrix. It simply documented the cases and admitted no current model of physics explained them. The paper was ignored by mainstream journals, mocked online. But people who'd experienced these glitches read it, found validation. Someone believed them. Someone with credentials, with expertise, saying, "This is real. We don't understand it, but it's real." Dr. Vasquez started receiving emails, hundreds, then thousands. More cases, more footage, more witnesses. She created a database, logged every detail, location, time, duration, environmental factors. Patterns emerged. Most glitches occurred between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., most in private spaces, homes, cars. Most involved objects the witness had strong emotional attachment to, a favorite mug, a wedding ring, a childhood photo. It was as if reality remembered, and sometimes forgot. Dr. Vasquez didn't have answers, still doesn't, but she keeps collecting data, keeps analyzing, because buried in these glitches might be something profound, a crack in the foundation of reality itself, a hint that the world we see, solid, stable, unchanging, is more fragile than we ever imagined. No one knows. Theories abound. Some say it's quantum phenomena leaking into the macro world. Some say it's simulation theory. We're in a computer program, and these are bugs. Some say it's consciousness affecting reality, observer effects on a massive scale. But the truth is simpler and more terrifying. We don't know. Reality is behaving in ways it shouldn't, and it's getting more common. January 2026. A man in Tokyo watches his reflection in a mirror delay by 2 seconds. Not a visual trick, verified by high-speed camera. His movements, then the mirror's response. 2 full seconds later. February 2026. A woman in London finds a letter in her mailbox, addressed to her, dated 3 weeks in the future. The handwriting is hers. The message: "It's going to happen again. Don't be afraid." March 2026. Surveillance footage from a grocery store in Atlanta shows a shopper walk down aisle 7, turn the corner, and disappear. Not leave, disappear. Mid-step. 43 other shoppers in the store. None saw him vanish, but the camera did. These aren't isolated incidents anymore. They're becoming part of the background noise of modern life. Most people don't notice. Those who do, try to forget, rationalize, move on. But some can't forget. Some like Susan Miller with her vanishing kettle, like Linda Torres with her moving objects, like Rachel Nguyen who met herself. They know something changed, something fundamental, and it's not stopping. Susan Miller still makes coffee every morning, still fills the kettle. Sometimes it vanishes, sometimes it doesn't. She's learned to wait, to give reality a few minutes to correct itself. The kettle always comes back. She's 52 years old, worked as a librarian for 23 years, married once, divorced, no children. Quiet life, predictable, until it wasn't. She doesn't talk about the glitches much. Tried once with her sister. Her sister suggested seeing a doctor, checking for early dementia. Susan didn't bring it up again, but she knows she's not imagining it. The kettle moves, reality stutters, the world skips.
She's started keeping a journal. Logs every incident. Date, time, object, duration. In 3 months, 47 glitches. Small ones mostly. A spoon, a book. Once, her cat disappeared for 20 minutes, reappeared in the same spot, sleeping, as if nothing happened. Susan wonders if she's alone. Then she finds Dr. Vasquez's paper, finds the forums, realizes she's not. There are thousands like her, maybe more. People living in a world that occasionally forgets how to be solid. It changes you, makes you question everything. If a kettle can vanish, what else isn't real? If time can loop on a highway, is time even linear? If you can meet yourself in a market, how many yous are there? These aren't philosophical questions anymore. They're practical ones. Questions you ask when the floor beneath your feet isn't as solid as it seems. Maybe reality was always like this. Maybe these glitches happened before, but we didn't have cameras everywhere to capture them. Maybe the world has always been stranger than we believed, and we're only now seeing it. Or maybe something changed. Maybe 2025 was a threshold. Maybe the fabric of reality is wearing thin. Maybe we're living through the early stages of something bigger, something none of us are ready for. Dr. Vasquez doesn't speculate, just collects data. But in private, she admits, she's scared, not of the glitches themselves, but of what they imply, that the universe is not a machine. It's something else, something less stable, less predictable, less safe. If you've experienced something like this, an object moving, a moment of time repeating, a person appearing who shouldn't exist, you're not alone, you're not crazy, you're witnessing something real. We don't have answers yet, maybe we never will, but we can document, we can share, we can support each other. Because the world is changing, reality is glitching, and the more we talk about it, the less alone we all feel. So I'm asking you now, have you seen it? Have you felt it? That moment when the world doesn't make sense, when something impossible happens and you're the only one who notices? Share your story in the comments. You'll be surprised how many people reply, "Me too." Thank you for listening, dear friends. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might understand, because in a world that's starting to break, we need each other more than ever. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and remember, if reality glitches around you, you're not imagining it. You're just seeing what's always been there, hidden, until now.